Hello class, I'm working out of your Algebra 1 book 6.2, Intro to Slope. We'll be working with the plane and the x and y axis. To get started, there are a lot of names for slope, including the variable m, which is used to represent slope in a formula. The slope is the steepness of a line, and it is also rise over run. It is the change in y over the change in x. And there's a formula for slope y subscript 2 minus y subscript 1 all over x subscript 2 minus x subscript 1. When you're given two ordered pairs, you have two y's and two x's. Take the second y minus the first y as the numerator, and in the denominator, take the second x minus the first x, and it will give you a value for slope. There are 4 different slope names for types of slope. This one is positive. Positive slope has a positive value in numbers, so be aware of that. You'll see that soon. This one's negative. A negative slope has a negative value in numbers. So match that. If you have a positive or negative number, your visual on the graph should match whether your number is positive or negative. So the horizontal line is zero slope. And this vertical line is undefined. So memorize these 4 names for the 4 types of slope that you will see on your graphs. To begin, we're actually going to work number 8 out of your book, 242. You're asked what is the slope from just a visual graph. So you're going to use the idea of slope equals rise over run. The slope that you're given crosses here and here. So I'm going to mark those so I can draw my line. Very steep positive line for this slope. And we're going to go through and say, okay, this line crosses this point right here. So I have a rise of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a run, just like a guy's running on the ground horizontally. We go across to the right, a run of 1. So a rise of 5, a run of 1. Okay. So the value for slope is m equals a positive 5 here. And we assume the 1 is underneath it, like invisible math. This kind of happens with slope too. We know so many invisible math coefficients and values that we just know are there. Well, apply it to this idea in this problem as well. All right. In the next section, actually 2 sections, you're asked to find a slope of a line passing through the given points. So you'll be given 2 ordered pairs. Let's do number 22 because there are a lot of negative values in that one. So remember our formula is slope equals y subscript 2 minus y subscript 1 over x subscript 2 minus x subscript 1. And the value you're given for the first ordered pair is negative 4, negative 1. For the second, you're given negative 1 and 7. All right, you have 2 x values. We have two y values. So the second y minus the first y. 7 minus the second y is a -1, so put that in parentheses. All over the second x value, -1 minus the actual value of -4, so put that in parentheses. And remember, when we have minus a minus, those become pluses. That helps. 7 plus 1 is 8. -1 plus 4 is 3. The slope value is 8 over 3. Box that for number 22. All right, you're asked to graph a line from a given point and slope. Let's do number 26. You're given -4, 0, and you're given a slope of 6. Let's plot our point. -4, we go back on the x-axis, 4, and 0, y. So it sits right on the x-axis. It's an x-intercept because y is 0. Okay, our slope is 6. So we assume it's rise over run, 6 over 1. If that is true, then it's a rise of 6 from that point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a run of 1. So we're going to mark this point, and once we have 2 points, generally we can graph that. Someday we'll get into testing points on the line to make sure it's a viable graph, but for your purposes right now, it should be in good shape if you find the other point from your rise over run. Check that 6 is a positive number and your slope is a positive graph. That is true, we see that. And you have graphed this plotted point with the slope you are given. I hope this helps, and I'll see you soon.